Hello and welcome to another video. So today I am going to tell you a story about a man finding a dinosaur. So let's begin. So once upon a time there was a man named Tony. Terrible Tony to be exact. Terrible Tony was a very bad guy. This guy was so bad that he wanted to capture every single animal and capture them forever and will not even release them to the wild after he has done using them. So he would always catch animals and use them in his circus. So he one day wanted to see and find something that was never to be seen by a human, or it was seen by a human but it was very confidential and classified it from the public. So Terrible Tony wanted to find it and catch these animals, and this animal was a dinosaur, specifically a Dolongus dinosaur, a dinosaur named Dolongus. Dolongus was a very big and almost extinct dinosaur. It has few numbers of it left on the earth, but it is highly classified where this animal is situated on which island, and there is to be said that there are only 2 females and 2 male Dolongus dinosaurs left. And after this, Terrible Tony started his adventure. He bribed a guard to tell him the location of the Dolongus dinosaur, and the guard did tell him the location, but he told him the wrong location on purpose. And so Terrible Tony ended up in the wrong island, wherever it was, but Terrible Tony did not give up. He suddenly realized that he could find the dinosaurs here because it was almost the same island and where the dinosaur lived 300 million years ago. So Terrible Tony started looking around on the other islands that it was situated on, and Terrible Tony suddenly found an island filled with lives. All the other islands did not have any life, any signs of life, no animals, no plants, nothing. It was completely deserted, and it only had sand and mud and nothing else. But this island had something special. This island was filled with plants and animals that he had never seen. There were lots of dinosaurs. So he started catching those dinosaurs one by one, but he was terrible at catching dinosaurs, and all of his gears that he had brought to catch the Dolongus was completely useless because he could not even catch the small regular dinosaurs because the dinosaurs were too smart, and they had teeth, so they can easily cut through nets, and all of the instruments or the tools that Tony brought in with him had nets or was made out of net or uses net to catch animals. So right after this, Tony went ahead and started to find something exceptionally big to catch the Dolongus with. And as he was looking around for something to build a trap with, he suddenly found a really huge building that was almost the size of the Dolongus, and he decided to use it as its trap. But he decided to make the trap first, so he planned for months. And he lived in the wild for months. His family thought that he was dead, until he finally was done building that trap, and it was a huge trap. And so he looked at one of the Dolongus that was nearby and lured it in with some food. Dolongus is a vegetarian animal or something like that because it does not eat any kind of meat products. It's only eat leaves and grass and something like those. So Terrible Tony, or Tony I will say for short, lured the Dolongus in, but the trap was useless because the Dolongus was so heavy and so powerful that easily crashed through the building and the trap, and all of Tony's time and everything was ruined. And so Tony was mentally given up, and all of a sudden a Dolongus caught him and grabbed him with his teeth, because the Dolongus does not have any feet, and grabbed him with his teeth and threw him away as far as the Dolongus can. Thankfully, Tony landed in a haystack, and he thankfully lived another day. And with that horror, Tony realized that all of the animals had life like humans, and so Tony went into his circus and released all of his animals that he never would release, and he said to himself that he would never hurt any animal or try to hurt any animal in his entire life. So this is the end of our story of Terrible Tony. So this is the end. So tata and goodbye. So see you tomorrow again.